You all smoked it. Hi, I'm Doug. Bravo, congratulations. Thank you. Great teaching, great teaching. Good leadership. Yeah, that's my dad.
Yeah, I know. I was on my way to Ohio State.
You're an Ohio State grad?
Yes.
Oh, even better. Hey! All right.
Well, I did go to Indiana for 2 years, too.
Hey. Yeah, I will.
When I was there, it was just really...
I will. That's great. It's a pleasure. Yeah. Let's just hand over the trophy now. I think well, I was going to say, like I said, well taught. I mean, this will be one of the things that I'm going to shoot a few accolades your way, which you incredibly deserve. And then we'll dig in and maybe give a few pointers of things that I think you can take to the next level. Because the best musicians that I admire are always the ones that are finding new ways to improve. I'm kind of name dropping, but the Canadian Brass is on Ball State campus this week while I'm here, and I worked with them last December, and it's incredible working with some of the best brass players in the world, and they're always like, you know, critiquing each other and trying to find ways to improve. So I hope you know that you are an excellent high school band. Excellent. In fact, if my eyes were closed, I'd be saying, okay, what university is playing today? Yes. And I honestly mean that. So that means that I put on, as an adjudicator, I put on my professional ears. That means that I hold you to a higher level than any other group that I hear, because I hear that you're capable of so many things. So I start comparing your sounds to, I'm an orchestra and band guy, I'm a trumpet player. Violin was my main instrument. I was a doubler all the way through, but I've done plenty of orchestras and bands and conducted at many levels. I start putting those ears on as to the great recordings that I listen to of the Cleveland Orchestra and New York Philharmonic and some of the major ensembles that are in there. So I am going to hold you to a higher standard. I hope you all know that. But again, it was really, really fine work. The Asphalt Cocktail, I don't know this piece very well, but holy moly, jeez. The only thing I know is that John Mackey and I are like the same age. We went to neighboring high schools, but we never knew each other until like about 5 years ago. So that's the only thing I know. But the one comment that I had was the transition in between John Mackey and then to the Lincolnshire Posy. If you ever watch some of the really great actors that are out there, I don't know when you would see this, but if you would have an opportunity to watch like an acting master class where they would say, oh, I see this all the time in vocal master classes, where they will have the singer sing an aria, and they'll say, okay, you're happy. And then the singer is required to sing that aria, even if the text is about depressing, or actually I'm conducting an opera next week, it's about murder and everything gross and distress. So they would ask the singer to sing happy with this really, really awful text. And then they'd say, sing sad for the same text. So they would make them go through all of these kinds of emotions and make you change it at the drop of a hat. I felt that when we ended Asphalt Cocktail and we were like, rah, 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 yeah, let's go take on the world. Once we turned to Lincolnshire Posy, I felt we were still in our Asphalt Cocktail mode. And I felt like the tone quality of da-dee-da-dee-da-da was that was a little bit more Asphalt Cocktail, okay? So I actually would like to, this is like, I was a swimmer in high school. That was my sport. And when we started to get towards bigger meets, we would do what? What's the T word? Taper, exactly. And you would start to plan, you would practice for the meets. You wouldn't so much worry about. So I'm practicing performance now, okay? Can we do just the very end of Asphalt Cocktail percussion? Don't go too crazy. We're just gonna do the last couple bars. I'm not gonna embarrass myself. Would you take this just from the last few bars? I've got Puccini on my mind, so that's the only thing I'm thinking of right now. Just the last few bars, and then I want you all to really, because you're mature musicians, I want you all to blow out John Mackey, blow out that out of your system, and reset for Lincolnshire Posy. Okay? We're talking about the transition in between. Okay?
So just we'll start at L.
Perfect.
Okay, L to the end.
New character, new composer, new everything. Lighter and bouncy. Keep going, keep going. Light bassoons, light. Great, good. Just it's a minor point, but again, this is a higher level point of really letting go and taking over the new character of the tune. Okay, all right. That was my first point. Would you take out the next movement? Go to Droste, Grange, measure 29. Here's, let's get into it. Here's 25. Now, trumpets, when I think of the really fine trumpet sound, I'm thinking Michael Sachs, Principal Cleveland Orchestra, who has the fattest, most glorious sound. He's like kind of my trumpet idol. So when you're up top, you need to think about really warm, rich, and not pinching the sound. It's good. You guys have great chops. Trust me, I'm not trying to get around it. You have incredible chops. But once you get up high, you got to think that warm, fat, rich, like you're playing on the biggest barrel mouthpiece you have, and it's just like you spread the whole, you fill up the hall with the whole sound, okay? Think warm and rich, all right? They're not rappers, by the way. That's big and rich. All right. 25, ready? And. That's it. And as you get softer, especially flutes, make sure you're thinking up as you're getting softer dynamically to keep that pitch from going down. Good. I just wanted, that's kind of like taking a Ferrari for a test drive. That was my pleasure. I enjoyed that. I enjoyed that very much. Just make sure, brass, especially when you have the fuller moments, you guys have got to get the recordings. I mean, it's so easy nowadays. I mean, when we were in school, we had to go buy recordings. We had to like go to the Tower Records and before and all that stuff. You can pull out your phones and pull out like 20 different recordings of this right now. You can pull out your phones and type in really good trumpet playing, and you might have a few, and you might have some not so good. Listen, 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 get that sound in your head, and it'll just make you sound that much more professional, which you all are on your way very, very much. It's been a pleasure. Parents, family, congratulations. You have great things going on in your district. Very fine teaching from your conductor. Best of luck.